What's going on, everybody? It's me, your boy AJ Red. I'm back again with another video. And listen, if this is your first time on the channel, even if this is your first video, please go ahead now and hit that uh, subscriber button so that when I go live or upload these videos, you can be one of the first ones to join the comment section and let me know what you thought about the video, the topic, my opinion, and all the other, stuff. Always make sure to hit the thumbs up button for the returning viewers. And again, last but not least, make sure to share these videos because I don't know what the hell else to do to get y'all to share these videos and keep bringing y'all ass back and to subscribe other than get on here selling y'all false hope or selling y'all some kind of tonic or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to jump into the topic for today, tonight, whatever, because I still have to get ready to do some work for my 9 to 5. And I don't want to be long. I don't want to pair it with the Holy Ghost or for the Holy Ghost all night. All right, so listen. There's a rapper by the name of Deja Blanding, aka stage name is Big Dank. 36 years old, out of Detroit, Michigan. You see her over here. There we go. You see her over here. There she is. Now listen. If y'all have been following social media, of course, I know y'all have, that's all y'all asses do anyway, cousins. On the Instagram, the TikTok, and even in the local news, if your ass over there in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to Detroit, Michigan, home of the Clark Sisters, my favorite group. Anyway, moving on. So this young lady, I don't know, I can't say big time rapper, but anyway, she's a native and home bred from Detroit, Michigan. She is currently suing the Lyft ride peoples because one of their Lyft drivers came out to the scene to pick her up, and as she proceeded to the car, he locked the doors. He locked the doors, and he rolled down the glass, and he said, he let her know he was gonna cancel the ride. And she should probably call an Uber XL to pick her up because his tire pressure and shit. His maintenance would be thrown out of whack if he were to proceed with the ride with letting Big Dank get into the car. Now, part of the argument and part of the lawsuit is the fact that it's discrimination. Against what I can't. I'm not going to agree with the word fat people because that's not a fair word, right? If I was being malicious, I would say fat people, but I'm not being malicious in this video. But I'm trying to make a point to Big Dank. One, in over there in good old Detroit, Michigan, it is illegal to discriminate against a plus size, overweight, obese person. So I'm guessing that's why the case is being entertained. I'm not sure, but I'm more than likely sure that's why, right? And so there may be a case and an argument to be had about the discrimination situation. But I saw part of the video, and it looked like she had ordered, with the original video with the driver, it looked to have been maybe a 2019 or 2020 or somewhere a little bit current, somewhere maybe a 2022, 23 Honda Accord sedan. And my thing is, come on now. Come on. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Look at the picture over here. She's very beautiful. But as beautiful she is over here, she's, her beauty weighs out on this side. So I'm saying she's really, 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 really beautiful. So with that being said, you cannot say, and the man said it was a safety hazard. You weigh 489 pounds, and you want to put him and you in the back of a possible 2019 Honda Accord. You don't know if that man had a problem with his shocks. You don't know if the brake pads was down to the last little bit, and he was trying to make the money to do car repairs or just groceries or whatever. he did not allow her into the vehicle. Now, with that being said, let it be understood, I'm not on making this video to be doing any body shaming or anything of the kind. I am not speaking to all people of plus size. I am speaking to directly to Big Dank. Okay. At the end of the day, it's sometimes it's the candor of the person. Sometimes you have to understand your circumstances. And I say that I say it that way because at the end of the day, okay, we have that incident with Lyft. Now we turn around, we look at her on the Breakfast Club of all places at 489 pounds. Where else would you be giving your interviews at? Is someplace called the Breakfast Club. And they had to pull her a whole part of the section up to the breakfast table just to do the interview. They couldn't give her a regular rolling chair. They tried, but she politely, complained about it just before I guess the interview got started, asking if they had anything else. And when they politely, Charlamagne them asked, what do you suggest? And she was like, take part of that section and slide that bitch over here and let me sit this 489 pounds on it so I can do this interview. Right? So again, I'm going somewhere with this. Again, people, when there's certain things going on with you, you have to at some point understand. And then part of that interview, she rebutted, that's what I'm talking about, accommodation, type, shit. And Charlamagne was like, well, everybody may not be able to accommodate you. And I mean, being 589 pounds, he's right. Everybody will not be able to accommodate you. And I do understand the disrespect that was displayed to you during the process of the possible Lyft ride pickup. It could have came off hurtful. It could have came off very blunt. It could have hurt your feelings. But that man is figuring in his mind, the same way your feelings was hurt, he was willing to sacrifice that and that little job he was working, over there with the Lyft people, probably just making enough to pay his electric bill or buy a few groceries. He was willing to sacrifice that versus, if not even having shock problems, in the bike or anything going on with the rear tires. He had rather given up that job and been held responsible for denying you the ride rather than letting you get in the back, and I'm just going to say it politely, letting you get in the bike seat of his Honda Accord and start causing him more problems. He was already shit out there working to make extra money to fix some other shit and pay some other bills. He didn't want to let you in because he didn't want no additional maintenance problem. That's all the man was saying. Why couldn't you just have taken it like that? Everybody cannot acquiesce to your demands all the time. And I'm not saying that it should not be that way. I mean, just like Just Hilarious asked her when she was also doing the interview on the Breakfast Club at the breakfast table, Just Hilarious asked her, was there not ever a time, because she said people were asking her in social media, you could have saying that she could have just ordered an Uber XL. And she was like, why should I order an Uber XL when I've been ordering, the regular cars? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's because, the obvious, you're 689 pounds. You cannot continuously just think that, okay, let me finish setting it up. Her response completely was that she's always ordered regular Uber rides. And she also added, and I quote, she said that she does not have the mind or the head or the mindset of a person, 689 pounds. She says she got the mentality of a small person. But sis, you can't have that kind of mentality when you sitting up here walking around. And this is because there's more to come on this. This is only for Big Dank. You can't have that kind of mentality when you sitting up here telling me, you a candidate for my 600-pound life over there to go down there and get looked at by Dr. Now. You can't sit up here and make those kind of demands all the time and actually look for people to acquiesce to them when you walking around here looking like a cow on its hind legs. That don't make no goddamn sense. And I'm not sitting there saying that there's people that don't have problems, and that's not why they're maybe of the plus size. But even being of the plus size and her in her own mind thinking that she's small, and that being, and I'm gonna say it being what her mentality is, I'm gonna say a choice because I'm leading somewhere else with that shit. Her deciding to be a big as a choice, you know, and thinking that you can just slide. You can't just move around Bourbon Street doing Mardi Gras and thinking you're not gonna move about 12 people the hell out the way. You know, you can't just decide. Okay. This is my question. So if there's a law in Detroit, Michigan, of her discrimination against obese people, my whole thing is, what happens when the state fair comes to town? Y'all know I'm going with this shit, don't you? What happens when the state fair comes to town? Is there a different contract that's drawn up? Because you can't sit up here and tell me that them people they have to run the risk of over there if they have the state fair over there, and she decides she wants to get on the merry-go-round or the super rocket, or you know what I'm saying, some shit, the Apple, one of those things that you know that has weight limits. You mean to tell me if they don't let her on, they're going to be sued because it's discrimination against big people? And again, I'm not saying I have a problem with big folk. I got big boned motherfuckers in my family, so I'm not having no problem with big folk. This is specifically for you ignorant cousins, specifically for what her name, her Big Dank. This is not angle. This is not angle that everybody that likes sweet potato pie 7 days a week and not just, you know, for holidays and shit like that. This is for Big Dank. Because along with her complaint, she also mentioned that she feels as though people of her size, which she said plus size, and this is not plus size, madam. Let me just bring some things to your attention. Take your ass down there to the city trends. Go down there to the Walmarts. Or even, I don't know how much money you got, because apparently you ain't got enough money to buy you a Expedition like all the big ones do when they got money, or buy you a Range Rover in which you went down there to somebody's car lot and sat up in there to let everybody see you can fit up in there to make your case even better against the Lyft people. A Range Rover can drive up rocks, bitch. What you mean? Of course it can fit you up in the front seat in the driver's side. What are you talking about? Did that make your case or hurt your case? You probably should have just let your damn lawyers, Mutt and Jeff, do their job over here. Step and fetch it. Let them do their job. Let them do their job. Shit, old Sigmead and Freud, whatever their name is, let them do their jobs and just set your ass in the gallows and just find you another 16-piece down from the Popeyes and demolish that shit. I'm sorry. This is again for Big Dank and ate that shit. Because listen, the fact that you turned around and said that, you know, plus size people, again, not plus size, but people of your size, 789 pounds, should be, you know, privileged to have laws and rules that are, you know, that are bent just to make sure that you get what you need. They do. They made caravans. They made Dodge Caravans. They made Suburbans. They made Tahoes. They made Hummers. Hell, shit. They made a whole lot of stuff that you could have called out there to scoop you up. If you got all this money, being Big Dank out here in the streets, you got all this drip on and carrying on. And that's what I'm talking about. You will get out here and make a goddamn fool of yourself trying to tell everybody what you think you deserve per who you decide to be, and they're going to put all that shit on gay folk to much. You want the same rights as us because we get what everybody else gets, which is what talked about every other goddamn day in the social media, on the streets. Ain't nowhere you can actually find that there's not a gay person, a punk, a lesbian, a queer, or transgender person that ain't being violated or assaulted in some kind of way. So you still want the same rights as us? We still down there marching and trying to make sure right now that old orange peel over there don't overturn rights for shit like preventatives for fucking Discovery and shit. We still have a long march to go. Not to mention just the Black March itself, starting from the beginning, shit before even Selma. But you want everybody to jump. You want to jump your ass in line like you do down there at Chick-fil-A, or jump your ass in line ahead of everybody else like you do down at the Piccadilly, or wherever it is, Wingstop, wherever you decide to, take your dollar to, because clearly it's not a car lot unless you're trying to, make a point about you being able to fit in smaller vehicles. That little Chevy Trax you got in the back of, it would have taken nothing for them to slide the seat up, for you to stuff all that up in there like the cream in the goddamn between two Oreo cookies. It took nothing. And I'm not trying to get on here and make her feel bad, because she already said she's been dealing with this her whole life long and it hurts her feelings. But me as a human being, me as a person of the LGBTQIA community, at the same time, you think if being gay was a choice, you think I would do it knowing that my feelings would get hurt depending on who found out about it in my life journey? You think I wouldn't choose to leave that shit behind and go on to something else? Versus you, who has a choice in not taking the extra roast beef sandwich, or the extra slice of ham, or hell, the extra helping of sweet potato pie doing the, but I'm trying, I do be trying. People say I don't be trying on my journey. No, you don't. No, you don't. You lying. And what you doing is you sitting your ass over there deflected. They had to pull a whole section up to the table for you to sit at. And you proud of that shit. But you gonna get on here and talk about you want the same rights as the gays. And we still fighting the fight over here amongst there's so many other fights in this country that's going on right now, even including obesity. That's a choice. You even shit, they got semaglutide out there, they got Ozempic, they got all kind of shit out there that you can go over there and be shooting up in your thighs and your belly. And the next thing we know, you getting, some kind of skin surgery, and you looking like Star Jones or some shit now. You know what I'm saying? You got a small body with a big ass head, but it's okay because now you've done the work, at least in some type, form, shape, or fashion. And you decided to bust down at the gym. You think the gays can go down and take a shot? If there was, bitch, tell me about it. Is there a pill you can take to ungay yourself? Because that's an opinion that Big Dank, and of course, Just a Hilarious, her scoop ball head ass. Okay, Just a Hilarious, I have the same question for you. I just really don't believe the fact that, somebody can be born gay. Okay, part of that can be true. Part of that can be astronomically true. But let's just explore the facts of that. The facts of that is there are some people who are not born gay. Let's just say that, because there are, right? There's a percentage of people who aren't innately in their minds that they feel were born gay. But at some point in their life's journey, things changed with them. Some motherfucker decided to come out pansexual, skillet sexual, gay, bisexual, all kind of things. Some of them, they did it willingly. That means in the celebrity market and status, and also in the citizen every day of life, run-of-the-mill American status, and across the USA and the global status. Some of them chose to do so, and there are some that were just completely outed. Like the Dwight Howard and some of the others, because some people just wanted to play it, for the almighty dollar. But just hilarious. Come on now. I'm trying to be nice, but y'all study. This is my thing, because this is what y'all like from me. Y'all love this kind of shit when I do all this, right? So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna let it rip. So when Just Hilarious was over there, at the end of the day, now you got all these baseball caps because of what? Apparently your hairline ain't running in full as it should be. I don't know if those sew-ins or those glue downs or those, I don't know what's going on with those wigs or whatever the shit you've tried. At the end of the day, the reason that you put all that extra shit on and you couldn't wear your natural all the time in the past, and probably now even in the present. At the end of the day, what does that say for you? That you have this condition, or other people that have the condition of possible alopecia or alopecia at all, is because they chose to have alopecia? when that's the last thing they want. Everybody knows for most women, their hair is their crown and glory, and it should be that way for everybody, which it really is, because I mean, shit, I got 22 inches or more. I'm not having that problem. Just the hilarious or just hilarious. Everybody say I call 5 and below. 5 and below, whatever the fuck it is. It's 5 below, 5 and below. It's 5 and below because it's all kind of prices, even $5 in the book. It's all kind of shit like the dollar store. So let me just call it what I want sometime. But at the end of the day, just the hilarious, just hilarious. Would you actually sit up here and say in the court of law, if we were actually to ask you that you chose to not have a full set, on your rooftop, that you chose not to have a whole, that you chose to have, to have to go down there to Heavenly's beauty shop or beauty salon or wigs and shit like that, or whomever. I said Heavenly because I seen the shade. Anyway, Bonquisha's shop and had to get it put on and replaced to plug it in and all that shit like Glade. That was a choice of yours? No. And if we did, you try your best to get a bitch cancer for calling. Oh, they talking about medical conditions. Nah, people talking about alopecia. People, that's just like y'all try to sit down and say I'm going for people that need to be on goddamn Slim Fast instead of Slim Slow. She's on Slim Slow. She ain't doing the work like she said in the video. You're lying. Us gays have done the work, bitch. We soul search. We know what we like. We know we know what we like. Just like she knows what she likes. A double stack from down the Wendy's. Large, biggest size and shit like that with a bigger bag of that kind of shit. You know what you like, so stop playing them games. You know your big ass like them biggie bags. So at the end of the day, you have to understand that comes at a cost, just like the gays, baby. So if you want what we have, bitch, you're there. You arrived. You've arrived. Ridiculement, torture, disrespect, being looked down upon. Not from everybody, but most of society. So at the end of the day, the same thing goes for you. They say all the punks and fags and trans punks and fags and trans punks, men's and dykes and all that shit ought to be cast down to the pits and the 5 gates of hell. So guess what? It's the same thing for your big ass if it's gonna go by the Bible. You have been gluttoning and things of the kind and eating too much and all that kind of shit. You ain't supposed to be doing all that. You going down to the fiery pits of hell. So join the hands with us fags and punks and come on, let's get ready. I'm going down to the sauna, bitch. Stop playing. I do understand with all due respect that man honestly should not have stopped and told you anything. He should have. He gave me looks. I saw those looks before, and he gave me looks through the window, and I knew what was about to happen, and I've never been denied a ride. Come on now. I say like just hilarious. I think you've been denied rides before. You was just sick of that shit. You probably set that ride up 20 minutes early so you can slide through Popeyes or Wendy's or somewhere and pick you up a little something on the way down to that to go watch that game, to the watch party. Why you coming for her like that? I'm not coming for her like that. I said she was beautiful. I said she was as equivalent beautiful as she is in her way. Now, the reason I had to say anything about it was because, come on now, why you want the same rights as gays? Why does everybody keep coming for the gay community? Every community in the United States of America has different adversities, different barriers to overcome per everyday society and life. But you also have to understand and be more mindful and more mind focused on the fact of the things that we have more in common, which is being able to eat. That's a big one for her. Shit, come on now. Being able to eat every day, being able to have lights, a place to stay in safely, and that you're not in some type of threat of your way of life being taken away from you. And that's whatever that looks like, other than being doing something unlawful. And when I say unlawful, I mean unaliving somebody for no reason, or serial, butt booty takers and serial unalivers and things like that. People that do things like that, the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world, them kind of people. You know, I feel like everybody's doing, if you're just trying to live your best life, aside to those things and being in which the type of person that's just described, we all have the same common goal. We all have the common goal, and we so goddamn tired of working on anybody's 9 to 5 of any of us that's going to them. Let's just be honest. You sit there and say you enjoy your job. Yes, you do to an extent because you have to. You have to. If you ain't got no other stream of income, if you don't have any other money coming in, some people are really relying on that money of getting up, going punch that clock every day. And I know what that felt like. Those are common things. You are more, we have more common goals of being concerned about the everyday now, especially in this present time going forward for the next damn near 4 years, which ain't been that long, and all kind of, shit done hit the fan, hell done broke loose, the chickens done come home to roost. We in the last days, everything they ever said pertaining to is done. We fucked, kind of shit is what it feels like. And we ain't even in, we even 60 days in this shit or 90 days in. But you want the public to rally behind you because you decide to take your ass, all of your ass, front and back, left, right, and side, up and down. And again, I say you're a gorgeous girl. You are absolutely beautiful. But at the same time, use them pretty lips for something other than, open it up to inhaling shit like cheesecakes. I don't know. Use that pretty button nose for something other than sniffing out the next fragrance of the next dish your ass decide to demolish, Big Dank. You need to figure out some other shit and come down here to us with and ask for us to rally behind you. Now, listen, by all means, if they come down to the court sessions and say that people don't discriminate against you and you are to be granted a check, I mean, by all means, get your money because, shit, of course, it's about more money, more problems. No, bitch, more money, more dishes. More money, more plates. More money, more things to go. What you should have been doing is you need to cut this rap shit out and go ahead and show Kevin Lee how it's really done. You feel me? Because y'all be arguing, and that's another thing. I highly rely on a big girl's palate. I don't give a damn what y'all say. I highly rely on a big girl or a big boy's palate. Because at the end of the day, they know it's good. They know it's good, and when it's good, shit, they get stuck on it. It gets it gets to be a repetitious thing. Now, I'm not saying that they ain't got some skinny holes out here that can put away some plates. Because trust me, I've seen plenty of them. I used to be one of them. Used to be take me to a family reunion, other than sister, friend, cousin, so-and-so, and whatever. I'm not eating that shit, and whatever she put in that pan over there and call herself making and bringing up in here, I'm not eating that either. So there were certain people that I knew when they brought what they brought, when they was bringing what they brought, that I would fool with. Everybody else, I wasn't gonna deal with it, and I could put away some shit. Now, I did some shit. Listen, yesterday I was sitting up and eating. I was so full, I damn near wanted to throw up. I didn't know if I wanted to throw up. I didn't know if I was hungry again. I didn't know if I was sick. I didn't know if I had got food poisoning. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. All I knew is that something was going on with my aged body, that some shit wasn't going right in my stomach area, and it didn't feel good. Now, clearly, she ain't got that problem. Listen, she can fuck up the thing and don't make no difference to her. And again, I say that because y'all out there with that bullshit, stop coming for the gays and the lesbians, us bulldaggers and dykes and carrying on, and us punks. Leave us alone, okay? If you want to make a point about something, keep it black and white. You sit up there, what the fuck are you doing? You wouldn't hide you. Well, that was smart. I guess you wouldn't hide you 2 goddamn white lawyers, and you come on here and put the gays on blast. Where is your black lawyers at, sister? Huh? Where's your Johnny Cochran at in the midst of all this? Why you in Why you ain't got you a black female lawyer down there? Huh? See how easy that shit is to switch around and how we can change it and fire back and forth all day. Cut it out. Leave us gay bitches alone. We ain't did you nothing. Leave us LGBTQIA XYZ WXK gospel station listening. Leave us alone, bitch. We minding our own self business and we doing our own thing. And for those who aren't, charge them up because 9 times out of 10, we ain't responsible for them anyway. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, and the fact remains that Just Hilarious also needs to find her sweet spot. Now they done begged your ass back down there to the Breakfast Club so they can feed you, and I think that new baby you done had and all that shit there. You need to try to earn your coin another way. Get up off the gay folk. I don't know what gay man broke your heart, or what gay woman that done ate your charcuterie and then left you and stranded you. You know, maybe it wasn't good. Maybe your charcuterie was just as bald as your hair. I don't know. There's so many things that could have taken place to why we can say, you know, you can be so bitter as, you know, lemon, lime, salt against the gay community. But I'd rather not address them. I'm just going to tell you to stop, bitch, because at the end of the day, I'm in an era now that I'm just going to address it. You know, just address it. Or nearly just say what the hell needs to be said. You know, I'm just going to live in that old porch swing moment. You know, old grandmas and aunties that sit out on the porches and shit and drank coffee all day and tea and was pouring tea and started drinking it. Talking shit all day long and wasn't scared of a goddamn thing. At the end of the day, I think that's who I'm going to become. Kendrick Lamar has inspired me a lot. So clearly she ain't like us, and neither is and neither is Just Hilarious bald head ass. So just like Kendrick Lamar. So I mean, shit, just like Drake. But at the end of the day, the whole point of this video is to stop calling out a group of people just because you're trying to protect another group of people. Because she said that she's trying to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else, you know, in her size. Okay, so now, okay, say you win some money from all this barking you done did over here on the Breakfast Club, on Instagram, you know, down in the courts and all that stuff. And then after that, all of a sudden now, because you're going to see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers make it bad for everybody else. So now, well, I ain't worried about it. What Lyft and all them might do is start saying, if, you know, per the contract, because you're not going to read that shit. And it might already be in it. You're not going to read that shit. You're just trying to book a car because your ass trying to be cheap and book a car versus buying or leasing one. They're going to add that shit into all of their contract verbiage, stating that, you know, when you probably go and book, they're going to actually probably not going to be, after this shit is over, your height and your weight and probably your age and shit, just to cover up a little something and try to figure out if your ass 789 pounds or some shit, 889 pounds, you know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you, you're going to have to order you a ditch witch, bitch. They're going to tell you that you ain't going to be able to order no more of them little baby cars, no more Honda, you know, Accords, no more Civics, no more Fiat. You're going to have to order you, I don't give a damn how much you want to be in style. A Maybach is not going to let you in there. I don't care how inspired you were about watching The Nutty Professor. Didn't you see what happened when he got discovered? He was trying to drive home. The calamity that shit caused. Don't be driven by that. And when you put that in, they're gonna upsize your ass. And they're gonna tell you your price is changing and your ride is changing because you 889 pounds, you can't fit in the back of that Corolla. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being honest about the shit. And so when you try to, you know how we do. We try to outslick the people. So what you're going to do is go in and when you get hip to that shit, you're going to go in and tell myself, you 189 pounds. You know You know what I'm saying? And then that little Corolla gonna show up, and then when they cancel your ass and drive off like a bad what they call them things, a bad blind date, the people that got what they call that shit, not baited, but catfish or some shit. When you got catfish, when they take and turn your ass over and punch that button and smash that gas, and you hear that thing hitting 3 gears and hitting that passing gear, getting past your ass, and when they get to that stop sign, that red light, no, they don't feel threatened. No, they ain't missed their stop. They ain't trying to hurry around and make the block because they missed your stop where your dot was or some shit or the address and hurry and come back around and get you so they can get 5 stars. No, they understood the assignment. They're about to, now you're about to get a ding on your ass saying ride cancel. And they're going to tell you review terms and agreement. And because you put that 189 and that driver rolled up this time and they ain't make no eye contact, they drove up and see you standing out there with your shit, you know, your stretch pants on and your I don't know, is that a crop top or is that a bustier? I don't know how big a bustier can get, but it looks like, I guess it's gonna be a plus size bustier because she says she plus size. So I guess that's a plus size bustier, and I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what they, but I don't know what she got them at. Okay, when they pull up and see this here outfit, they gonna punch it. And you're gonna get a notification saying ride cancel, review terms and conditions, because they done eyed your ass up and down, and they done seen, you done catfish them. You ain't is what you say you is, and so they're gonna drive off and leave you. And therefore, then that is going to free them of all types of legal and discriminatory shit regarding weight. You're not gonna be sitting there and tell myself, oh, the driver pulled up. I was standing out there with a bucket of KFC, and he seen I weigh 898 pounds. And then he looked at me and rolled the window down and told me and my bucket of chicken ain't gonna fit. Oh, he's not gonna have that kind of conversation. They're gonna revamp all that shit. Oh, yes. They're gonna drive right past you and leave you and your extra crispy right They're gonna leave your ass and your bucket of extra crispy on the sidewalk. And when you're gonna either go through that several times and you're gonna understand the message and bend to the wheel, because they're not going to bend to the wheel of you. These big corporations and these oligarchs are not really right now looking to acquiesce and bend to the will of the consumer. They're willing to do as much as they possibly could, out the gate in order to not have to deal with any kind of litigation. But at the end of the day, I mean, listen, you're gonna have to let the sleeping dogs lie. You're gonna have to reheat the chicken on this one. You're gonna have to go down there, buy you a car, and just leave us alone and stop minding our goddamn business. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna even put in on that before I go too far and call somebody something that ain't got no business, or say somebody turn. And if so, oh well, it is what it is. I'll give a damn. But anyway, last but not least, if this is your first time again joining the video, or this is your first video, shit, go ahead now and hit the subscribe button. Stop stalling, because I'm not finna give your ass no money. All you're doing is hitting the button. Shit is easy. Click the subscribe button now, so that when I upload these videos or go live, you can be one of the first ones to actually jump in the comment section and let make sure to share these videos and hit the thumbs up button and share these videos. Share with your cousin, your snagger-two cousin, your big cousin that's sitting home all day eating pizza and shit, the one that's on their way down at the 600-pound, my 600-pound life, being the next star of that show. Your auntie, your grandma, the ones that ain't got shit to do right now, they'll be glad to get this video. Stop being so damn selfish. Anyway, love you guys so much. Until the next video, y'all take it easy and stay safe, and pick your rides according to your size.